Hey, my friends, it's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And today we have yet another amazing guest. Michelle is a full-time pharmacist who's been building her online business through strong mindset, through consistency, through execution, and through, fortunately for her, striving to get results versus having excuses. Because unfortunately, when you own a business, you cannot have both. So with that being said, please help me welcome to the show, Miss Michelle. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, my friend?
I'm great. How are you?
I am wonderful. I am excited, and I can't wait to hear about your story and your journey. So take us back to the beginning. Why would a pharmacist, a seemingly I don't know, the top of the echelon in terms of, you would ask a child what they want to be when they grow up, a doctor, a lawyer, a ball player, a pharmacist. Why would a pharmacist want to get into online marketing and have her own business?
Right. So I've been in healthcare for 28, almost 29 years now, and I've raised 3 kids, and just always felt like I was never trained to do anything else but be a pharmacist. I mean, I went to college, spent 60,000 plus on my education, and felt like I couldn't just let it go to waste. I had to pursue what I had gone to school for. So of course, during the pandemic, we were all stressed beyond what we could handle. And I just kept thinking every day, what other job could I do? What if I lost my job today? If I went to work and they said, we no longer need you, what would I do? I'm not trained how to do anything else. And I realized I needed to have some other stream of income for my family. So at that time, I started pursuing other options. I had done MLMs before and, chased away all my friends because they thought I was coming to sell to them. So I decided I would start a product-based business. I thought I've always wanted to own my own business. So I will start my own online product business. And I did. I learned on my own. I went through the whole process of setting everything up and realized it's overwhelming to be an entrepreneur by yourself, trying to figure things out. And after a while in my job, I realized that, my boss told me basically that I was never going to be successful unless I went back to school and got a master's degree, which was going to cost me another $30,000. And I felt like there has to be some other way for me to earn a good income. I make 6 figures as a pharmacist, but the stress of it and working, 12, 14-hour days sometimes, being away from my family, I just realized that I have to find some other means before I lose my sanity, basically. But just doing my research, I found affiliate marketing and decided to keep pursuing it, and that's where it led me.
I love it. You mentioned some big numbers there. I think that people who I see looking to start a business are really unprepared for some of the cost and act as if they are extreme, when in reality, what seems to be extreme, in my opinion, are some of the cost that we are charging our kids. When I say kids, 18-year-olds, right, going to college, and the continuing education. In order to make more, you must pay more. And our industry, even the MLM industry, has been regulated because of some of their packages that they've sold, in order to join the business, which are very low cost in my opinion, 500, 1,000, a few $1,000s. But I think it's important for people to hear those numbers, and I appreciate you sharing that. And most people around my age group, your age group, we're around the same age. You actually are older but look younger. Good for you. Man. So sharing those numbers, I think, is important in remembering that starting a business is going to have some cost, but also contrasting those costs to some of the other choices that we have in life in order to make money. It's important to kind of understand that full perspective. And so again, thank you for sharing those numbers. What do you think has been different about this, and why do you think that this has been something that you've chosen to stick with, to pursue? I believe you've been at this for a little while now, and what do you feel is different about it than maybe some of the MLMs or other businesses that you have tried in the past?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, as a pharmacist, I started that career because I wanted to help people and serve people. And I felt like affiliate marketing allows me to do that. I serve my audience by providing them education on how they can become an affiliate marketer. So I feel like I'm still serving, which is what I felt led to do in my life. But I think I was drawn most to affiliate marketing because as a mom, we all know we don't have a lot of spare time. We're taking care of kids and our house and working a full-time job and all the extra things that our kids do. We stay busy. But with affiliate marketing, I was able to I literally was able to work a couple of hours a day and start my business when I had time. So I just started getting up earlier in the morning, like focusing on what I needed to do every single day. And I was able to build my business without ever leaving my 9-to-5 job. I was still working full time when I started, and built this as I went along, and some days you might feel like putting in 6 hours when you have 6 hours to give. And then other days I might have an hour and that's it. I'm struggling to get that in, but just showing up every single day to do it. I felt like this was something that was more doable as a mom, rather than an MLM where I had to go out and try to gain, customers every time I turn around. There's a new promotion or a new product you have to try to sell. I don't really feel like I'm always selling to someone in this business.
Yeah. It's really about helping, serving, providing value. You were sharing, and you shared with me on your questionnaire, and I looked at your stuff a little bit, and it's taken you a while, but you're starting to see some financial results. You're starting to make some money, some both smaller ticket commissions, some high ticket commission. So a lot of people also have a slow start and then also continue to have a small audience. However, you've been able to begin to monetize even your small audience. Can you talk to us about kind of what this journey has been like? And before we get into maybe some of the strategy or some of the things that you're doing that you've realized work better, what do you wish you had done earlier? If you could do it all over again, how would you do this process differently since the day that you decided to begin as a marketer? I don't know if the day that you bought our education was that day, but let's just assume that it was. If you could go back, what are one or two things that you say, I would have done that very differently?
Sure. So pharmacists are known for being kind of perfectionists, and I've always been a perfectionist. So I felt like I drug my feet for a long time because I felt like every step I had to do, I needed to know it 100%, and I needed to be able to. I needed to make everything perfect. It needed to look like I was all put together and I knew what I was doing and I was an expert at everything. If I could go back, I would have just started. Just start. I mean, the education provided everything I needed. I just was overthinking every step of it. Like, well, this isn't good enough. My house isn't clean enough. My makeup doesn't look good. I'm too old, or my clothes don't look perfect. Everything every step of it, I overthought. And if I would just start, just do it. But it takes a long time in your life to get to the point where you can say, I don't really care what everybody else thinks. But I feel like I'm at that point in my life where it doesn't matter what all these other people think about me. I'm just here to provide you with some education that helped me. And if I can help you get to this point where I am in my life, then that's great. But if you don't like what I'm sharing, you're not my audience anyway. So just move on.
At the beginning, did you feel paralyzed by both your perfectionism and the fact that you cared about what people thought? Who was it? Was it imaginary people? Was it your friends and family? Was it, did you have somebody say something and it kind of was like, ooh, what oftentimes I find that we're sort of afraid of things that aren't there. What was what did you have to, who were you trying to not care who they thought or what they thought?
I really think all of those things, because I had in my head that everybody's going to think that, that I'm crazy for doing this, that I'm a pharmacist. Why would you want to try something like affiliate marketing? I mean, you have a job. Why would you want to quit that? I was really afraid that people would judge me for that. But honestly, I think it was just in my head, because I've had so many people. I mistakenly, one day I shared to my personal Facebook page rather than my business page, and I had not wanted to do that. And then all of a sudden, all of my friends started messaging me like, what is this? I need to know. What is this information you're sharing? And I was almost paralyzed by that, because I thought, oh no, now they know what I'm doing. But I had just built it up in my own head. They were all supportive of me, and they wanted to know more. And I think they honestly trusted that I knew what I was doing. And that's why they were reaching out to me. So I really had just built it up in my own mind that everyone was going to judge me. And that really wasn't the truth. So
Leanne said, it's taken me over a year to not care what anyone thinks. Just do it.
Yeah.
That resonates with me. It does. I think that I still care what people think, like I think anybody who says they don't, like, I don't care what anybody thinks. It's like I still do, and it's not about that feeling ever going away. It's just about remembering that they're going to have an opinion of me no matter what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And that I'm kind of, and I never saw this movie, but I had a mentor, recovery sponsor back, who used to say, I'll be your Huckleberry. I think that's from a movie or something, where in some scene, they're kind of like, some guys like, hey, I'll be your villain or I'll be whatever you need me to be. I'm okay being that. And I've kind of just realized, and I remind myself when I do start caring about what people think, because again, being human, not being a psychopath, right? Having some empathy, having some wanting to be a good citizen, wanting to be a role model. These are all things that are important leadership qualities. But also when I realize that is affecting me, and it's paralyzing me.
Mm-hmm.
As No Stress with Jess said, I got to remind myself that they don't pay my bills. I got to remind myself that, okay, the movie was Tombstone. Okay, I'm going to have to watch that, because I've actually said I'll be your Huckleberry a couple of times, and I need to have the full context. So it's if anybody, like, I just wanted to share my piece of that, and your piece is obviously your piece, but like for me, I just want to make sure that people know, after 15, 16 years of doing this, like, I still do sometimes have hesitation before pressing post on something, or before, like, when I get ready or think about doing something, or after I've posted, if it's not taking off or whatever, like, or if I get no responses on a particular campaign. Man, folks, I come from very low self-esteem. I had very low confidence. I really was ashamed. I mean, this is just my story. So I've had to train my brain to have sort of a response. It's almost like the angel and the devil, right? And which voice am I going to let be bigger and louder today? And so there's a couple of things that are important for me and that have helped, and that's talking about it out loud, not staying inside of my head. When you're in your head, you're dead. I heard Tony Robbins say that one time, and it's always stuck with me. What are some of your mindset hacks, or what has helped? Maybe it's blocking people and tuning them out and making sure they don't see it. Maybe it is more self-awareness and some sort of mantra or reminder. Maybe it's just acting yourself into a new way of thinking versus trying to think yourself into a new way of acting. What are your mindset kind of hacks, or what has been something practical that you've used to give yourself more courage and confidence when otherwise you felt maybe paralyzed?
Sure. So I had a lot of self-limiting beliefs, and it really helped when I started writing them all down, and then coming up with something positive to reframe it. And then I made myself Post-it notes that I have all over my desk, and I refer to them every day. I just look, and I remind myself, I have something of value to share. I'm here to serve people. I'm here to just show them that you can overcome anything if you are willing to change your mindset. But it's just building good habits that has helped me. I started getting up earlier every morning. I sit and I read my devotional, and I pray every morning, and I just kind of make my list for the day of, like, what is my priority for today? Even on the days that I'm going to go to work and work 12 hours as a pharmacist, I still show up for my business first every day. I pray about it, and then I go to what I know I have to accomplish for the day. So just kind of changing my mindset and reframing those limiting beliefs has really changed how I show up for my business.
That's awesome. That's helpful. I love that. Routines and change and acting myself into a new way of thinking is something that's been so big for me. And when I kind of really, and sometimes I still don't fully get this, but I get it a lot more than I did in the past. I used to really try to think myself into a new way of acting and being, like keeping all my thoughts inside of my head and just not really letting anybody know what was going on, and also not really changing my behavior, but just thinking that I was just eventually going to stop struggling somehow magically, like something was going to happen outside of myself, around me. I was going to get a break. Someone was going to save me, whatever. And I just really started taking the action that I knew that I needed to take. I wasn't perfect every day. For example, filming the videos, getting in front of the camera. This was something that has been an issue. You're camera shy. And I think we can all relate to that. I am also surprisingly sometimes camera shy, right? It's like, I know you would not think it, but it's like, I can also analyze myself on camera and be like, damn, I'm gray. Holy crap, man. What the hell? I'm old as hell up in here. Like I look like a crusty old dude. I mean, I can sit there and really also, not only kind of tear myself apart or criticize myself at times, but I've just had to make friends with the camera over the years. What is your experience here? I mean, you're here now. I mean, we're live. This is about as real as being on camera is, because there's no like edits or whatever. So
Right.
talk to us about what your experience with being on camera has been like. How have you gotten more comfortable? What tips do you have around that?
Wow. Yeah, I have never been one to, like, I hate being in pictures. I'm not in a lot of family photos. I'm the one behind the camera. I always hate having my picture, I don't want attention drawn to me in any way. And I'm very much an introvert. I'd rather be hidden behind everyone else who's in the spotlight. But just trying to uh, do some sort of video every day. It took me a long time to even like take a picture, and post a B-roll video of myself. I kept thinking, well, I could do this faceless, but will I get my message out to people? Will they know that I'm a real person? Will they know that I have the same struggles that they do every single day? So when I thought about who do I follow and what do I like about that person and what they're showing, and what I found was I really liked someone who was relatable to me. Like I could look at another mom or another healthcare worker and see that they have the same struggles that I do every single day, and they just show up anyway. When I started analyzing that and why I was afraid to show myself on camera, I thought, I'm an ordinary mom just like they are. I mean, I don't really have anything to hide. So, I just started posting simple pictures to start with. And then I've slowly started letting myself talk on camera a little bit. And, it takes me a while to get myself warmed up to that idea. And it is hard every single time. I still struggle with it. Trying not to be perfect and, redo it 100 times to make it look just right. But yeah, it's a struggle, but just showing up every day and trying to do something a little different every single day to, get myself out there.
I love it. Go follow Michelle, everybody. RX for earning time. RX for earning time. Let's follow, let's support, let's build our community around each other. Everybody go to RX for earning time and let's follow Michelle. Let's drop comments, support, and I'm sure that she'll do the same. A lot of people in the comments said they don't believe me about the camera shyness. And it's like, yeah, maybe not at year 16. And after nearly, just on this show alone, over 1,100 episodes of going live. Like, think about that. I mean, I don't know if it's been 10,000 hours, but it's been a lot, right? It's been, it's been a lot. I don't know if I've done quite 10,000 hours in my career, but I know that I've done over 1,000 hours on this show of going live, and being in front of the camera and talking and, doing webinars and speaking on stage, putting myself in these positions that are just uncomfortable. I mean, even I have severe anxiety. You may not be able to see the sweat on my hands, but I'm just always kind of got an underlining anxiety, right? And I actually thought it was hyperhidrosis, right, for a while, because I was also sweating profusely from under my arms. But I also realized that I was just using like a natural crystal deodorant because I was trying to avoid aluminum. And when I started using regular antiperspirant, that cleared up, but the hands still sweat and the anxiety's still there. And I do it anyways. I do it anyways. And I've reframed my anxiety to be that, okay, I'm alive. I'm here, and I'm about to have a breakthrough, or I'm about to, go out there and crush it, versus this is a sign that I'm going to have a breakdown, or this is a sign that I'm going to somehow screw up. And I've also learned that even though the body is having a certain reaction, the mind is more powerful than the body.
Mm-hmm.
And I can visualize my performance, and I can actually visualize me doing whatever I'm about to do. And even if it's in the future, I used to, because I've been doing live events for well over a decade. I was going to live events and even started hosting them early in my career. And of course, I was so scared. I had never been on stage before, never had, and I was a ninth grade dropout, so no even debate or presentation experience. And so I started, not initially, but to begin to really constantly leading up to these events, visualize myself just crushing it, like walking around the room, kind of owning it, my body posture. I went to other events, sort of like we watch other people online, and I watched how people like Tony Robbins moved around the room, just like a beast, shoulders back, and I was like, wow, I want to be like that. I want to have that sort of presence. And I would go and I would almost model those same mannerisms and model that same body language and those same inflections in my voice. And ironically, I got a similar result from people. They listened, I really performed much better than I thought I was going to perform. And I do believe that, maybe I can't sit around and say, there's a Lamborghini in my driveway there. I maybe not manifest ridiculous things, but I can certainly visualize and train my brain. There was a study done about basketball players visualizing shooting free throws and then actually practicing shooting free throws. In both groups, achieved similar results, not the same, but similar results in the test, simply by just practicing inside of their brain. So
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot around that, and I'm so glad to hear that you've had your own strategies that are obviously working for you. And I think that's what's also important, is to find what's working for you. What have you learned about yourself, Michelle, throughout this process?
I guess I learned mostly that I am capable of a lot more than I gave myself credit for. I think most of us are. I never thought that I could learn something completely new. Here I am, 53 years old. I didn't think I could start a new job at this age, a new career. But I've taught myself and learned from others, how to set up every step of a business and how to implement new strategies and earn income that I never thought I was capable of. But you just have to start. If you want to change the way your life is going to be, you have to do something to make the change. It doesn't just come on its own. There's no magic wand that's going to save you. And I think that's what I was waiting for so long. I just thought it was somehow magically going to happen one day, that I'd wake up and all my problems are gone. But that doesn't happen for us. But if you are willing to learn and change your mindset and just start, you can make a huge change for yourself.
Yeah. You're really inspirational, because you're you're kind of showing what a nice slow grow looks like. And this is how the majority of people that you see out online, this is how their success happens. It happens through a real, a real pit of sort of despair at the beginning, right? You like meet yourself, you get introduced to all your limiting beliefs. I mean, it's sort of like entering into anything serious, like you're bringing something new into your life, a new relationship. This is a relationship with a business. It's almost like there's someone new in your home. It's your computer, and your phone. You're using it for a different purpose than just to numb out or to escape reality. You're using it to try to create and do something with your time. And all things that are worthwhile are hard. And this if you listen to the majority of people, which I love how people are being more honest and more transparent online nowadays, letting folks know that, look, I had less than 100 followers for, a year or 2 years. And then in the last 18 months, my account's grown to 100,000 followers, or I had a breakthrough, or like, this is what it usually is. This is what it usually looks like. And it's also what it usually looks like for a brick and mortar business. Most of the time, you don't even get into profit for many years. You have franchise fees or equipment fees or bank loans, or I mean, I have a wonderful barber who came here from Cuba. Got his citizenship, has brought his mother recently. She's getting her citizenship. He's worked so hard for the past 5 years as an employee at a salon, and he wants to start a business. And I'm telling you, watching him like gather chairs. I've let him keep a couple of barber chairs in my garage downstairs for when he's ready, and talk about loans and this. And I mean, I think we forget, and we just don't know when we come in to start a business what that looks like, because we don't know what we don't know. But for all of you out there who are frustrated because you're looking at all of the most successful people out there who are in their chapter 9 and 10 and 11, and you're in your chapter 1, 2, and 3, and you're comparing apples to oranges, apples to watermelons, remember that is all you're seeing is the glory, but you don't know the story. And you sharing your story today and your growth and the success that you're starting to see now is so deserved. And I know it's going to continue to multiply, and we're going to do everything that we can do to support you every step of the way, Michelle. So thank you for your time today and your beautiful story, your lovely energy, and for coming out here on camera and crushing it.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I'll talk to you soon, and stay legendary, my friend. Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, my friends, please go find and follow Michelle over on Instagram at RX for Earning Time. RX for Earning Time. Okay. My friends, really a beautiful episode and a wonderful reminder of what we're doing here. We're building businesses. We're not building fantasies. We're not building overnight, imaginary cash registers that just, every time you sit down to your computer, money pops out. We're building businesses. We're on that grind, and that grind is hard up front, and the benefits are on the other side of those initial months or years of foundation building, which is the opposite of a normal job where you get paid within 2 weeks. Most of us are used to that. Hey, I can't go 2 weeks. I got to wait 2 weeks for my first paycheck. What? Right? Yeah, that's normal. But imagine if a job said, hey, you got to wait 4 weeks. What? We're trained to really have an expectation that when we do something, we get a result. I'm not doing this if I'm not getting paid for it. I'm not touching that. That's not my job. Well, all the businesses that you've worked at throughout your life, do you know who came in and did it when it wasn't anybody else's job to do it? The owner did. The owner did it. So you're the owner. You're the owner. And all of us want the benefits of ownership. We want the results. We want the payouts, and we want the payoffs, but we don't want to do what it takes to be the owner. The early nights, the late mornings, cleaning the toilets, because metaphorically, right? You're cleaning your toilets. You got to get up and clean the toilets sometimes in your business, or every day in your business at the beginning. Again, metaphorically speaking, what's that for you? Yeah, it doesn't feel good, right? It's not fun, right? But eventually you learn to love to do it, and eventually you maybe hire somebody to do it for you. And then you expand your locations, i.e., I expand from Instagram to Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. I'm working at first. I'm cleaning the toilets at first, getting the accounts off the ground, putting in the work, figuring out the algorithm, figuring out my messaging for my audience, figuring all that stuff out. I'm cleaning the toilets. And eventually I can bring in somebody or people to help me, right? Ideally, you want your business to be so big that you have a virtual assistant who's helping you on every platform. Hey, you're a virtual assistant who's in charge of helping to upload and make sure content gets posted to YouTube. You're in charge of Instagram. You DM every single person who engages on your post. You strike up conversations. You respond to DMs. You set appointments, right? Okay, that's what you're doing right now, though. And that's what every single one of you should be doing. If you have a small following, which Michelle does, and she still created results from it. If you've got a small following, capitalize on every opportunity, every like, every comment, engage with people, send them a message. Thanks for your likes. Thanks for your comments, right? I have such and such freebie. I just wondered if you wanted me to send it over. Let me know if there's anything that I can ever help with. This is how you maximize every opportunity at the beginning stages of launching your business. Similar to how if a restaurant owner was launching a restaurant, he or she would be in there cleaning the toilets, making the sandwiches, shaking hands, kissing babies, letting people know we're launching the business, grand opening, right? That's how businesses work. That's how capitalism works, right? That's what kind of America is kind of built off of, is that sort of business building. And so don't get seduced by automation and outsourcing and all this other stuff. Surely we use AI. I just did a training on Wake Up Legendary, Ryan and I, on AI yesterday. But also remember to clean the toilets and embrace that at the beginning. All the dirty work you're doing, you're launching the business, you're getting off the ground, you're doing the opening release. Again, you're DMing people, you're reaching out, you're responding, you're capitalizing on every opportunity. That's what it takes. If you have a small audience, friends, which so many of us do, and we all do at the beginning, it's just a time to double down on capitalizing on. And here's the most important thing that I want to stress. It's about interacting with people. It's about interacting with people. You cannot hide in funnels. You cannot hide in video editors. You cannot hide messing around with things. You have to interact with people. You got to engage with people. If you have nobody who's reaching out to you, you got to reach out to them. You got to reach out to them. What does that look like? Well, nobody's commenting or liking my post. Go and comment on other people's posts. Leave valuable comments. Leave funny comments. Go on to big creators or people who have a lot of comments and leave a comment that's valuable, that's useful, not just awesome stuff. Provide something. Go in and answer comments that the person who's got so many comments they can't answer, that they can't answer. And don't be spammy. Just be valuable. And I guarantee you'll grow your followers. For the people who weren't getting answers from the person they commented, but they did get an answer from you, boom, there you go. That's how you create business. So, I mean, surely the inspiration and the example of getting results or even big results from small audiences is demonstrated so clearly today. And remember, for everybody's listening, that it's not just about hoping and wishing. And that's what Michelle made so clear. It is about taking those actions and not staying hidden in the tech and the software and all this, but engaging with people. And engaging with people is going to become even more and more important as things become more robotic and artificial. AI, artificial intelligence. All right. So, my friends, join us tomorrow for another episode of Wake Up Legendary. Thank you so much, Michelle, for a wonderful episode. Please go follow her over at RX for Earning Time. Let's love, support, pick each other up. This is not an easy journey. It just happens to be worth it. Put your seatbelt on, my friends. It's going to be a wild ride. Stay legendary. Get out of here, my friends, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Peace.